the show where we get to know you a little better, get to know things about Joy
Yeah. Why you say her name like
Benefield.
that?
Okay.
Joy.
So, what is it exactly that you
Well, I am a nurse. I've been a nurse for about 14 years now. Started off as, started from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off as an aide, and then I think I was an aide for probably like 2 years before I got my license practical nursing,
Okay.
LPN. I was an LPN for about a good 10 years and been an RN for about four.
Okay.
Just recently obtained my bachelor's degree last last year.
Okay.
So yeah, nursing. I worked in plenty of different fields.
Mm-hmm.
My most current one is medical surgical. So that's just all. I'm dealing with everything that comes to the floor.
Okay.
I work throughout Metro Health and Cleveland Clinic.
Okay.
I'm also an extreme hip hop instructor. I've been doing that for about 3 years. It'll be 4 years come February.
Okay.
Um, so not currently teaching at a spot right now, but if they need me to fill in here, I'll do that here.
Okay.
So
So to the nursing, I know nursing can be tough because being a nurse you see a whole lot of stuff.
hmm
So how do you deal with your mental health because your mental health has to be up to par when you're dealing with other people's ailments and everything they're going through or whatever. So how do you tend to deal with your mental health to get you through the day or through the weeks, through the months, through the years and stuff like that?
um, most the most important thing is prayer. I pray first thing before waking up and before going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to God is kind of a comfort for me,
Mm-hmm.
especially when dealing with the healthcare, dealing with COVID and things like that. I used to be a hospice nurse. I was a hospice nurse for my entire LPN career.
do? You probably cry like a lot.
So, like, even going through COVID, I was a hospice nurse, so dealing with all that death and things like that, it took a toll on me. I would say that, but I've done therapy. I've done, like I said, prayer and just being me. I don't know if you guys realize, but I don't think I ever come in here angry or upset.
No,
You always see a smile on my face. I'm always positive, and I feel like that's what keeps me going
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. And my kids are amazing. Um, I can't say enough about them. Like, they older now, so they realize everything I work hard for. So they kind of like, push me to continue on to be who I am. So a lot of that comes from them as well. Um, but healthcare is hard. It's hard. Sometimes you don't want to bring that stuff home, but it comes home with you. Um, Especially when you hit the, the patients where you just nothing you do for them is satisfying them. Nothing you can go in there and you could be the best nurse ever, but they're so disrespectful, or you may get that disrespectful family member that takes a toll on you. Um, but like I said, prayer is a huge one for me.
Yeah, and I know it's rough because
Yeah.
I just lost my mother in July, and my mother had Alzheimer's and
Okay.
dementia. And I just like me dealing with her and just talking to her or whatever. Like at times she could be difficult. It was kind of rough on me, because at a certain point she didn't know who I was. She didn't recognize me and everything. So like my dad would take her to the hospital and she would give nurses a hard time. I used to be like, oh my goodness, I feel for these nurses.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what y'all go through, dealing with, people with different ailments
Yeah.
and, mental issues and stuff
And you
like
gotta
that.
kind of go in there with the whole mindset of these people are sick.
Yeah.
So whether they come off aggressive and disrespectful, they're sick and they're dealing with something. And ultimately, you're there to care for them, and you're there to give them a solution and a treatment, and that's the mindset I go into it with.
Yeah.
Sorry about your mom.
Yeah. It's been rough.
Yeah.
I can say the least. It's been rough, but tell everybody, I'm, learning to live a second life, because I've always had her in my life. So now I'm learning to live a life without her.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like always like, appreciative of nurses. Like my son's mother, she's an RN, so especially I seen everything that she had to go through. Because at the time, she worked for Metro, but now, she worked for Metro now, but at the time she was working for the Kaiser County Board of Health.
Okay.
So when the whole COVID situation was going on, she was working like non-stop.
Yeah.
So it's just like all the doctors, the nurses, and everything. I had a situation with my son, ended up catching like a rare case of COVID. He had to spend a week at Cleveland Clinic, and everybody was excellent. So I know it's a hard profession. So.
Yeah, it is. It's very hard.
So how have you maneuvered in life trying to find purpose, trying to find who you are, outside of even nursing, outside of extreme hip hop?
I feel like I'm still trying to reach that. Like I feel like I've been so consumed with work. I'm like a Jamaican. I have
Oh, where else?
2 to 3.
Blood clot together.
But
Y'all style with.
listen, half the time I don't even know how I'm able to navigate through my day. And anybody can tell you, I work between 2 to 3 jobs. I'll get off of a 12-hour shift and come in here and train, do 3, 4, 5 classes, go home and sleep for 5 seconds, and do it all over again.
That's
And still be able to show up for whatever the kids have going on. I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I maintained sanity for so many years, but I do it. So when I say I'm still trying to find me, I'm trying to find me in the sense of no children, no nursing and things like that. Just me having fun for me.
Yeah.
I haven't found that yet. I'm still searching.
That's crazy. Talking about Jamaicans working out. and it's funny because my father used to work so much when I was a kid and always be doing something. And I found myself being the same. I'm always doing something because you kind of start feeling like you start losing yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So you do step here, right?
I do.
We are here at the Extreme Compound, as everyone knows.
Famous Extreme Compound.
So how did you start your fitness journey? What made you start your fitness journey?
Yeah,
how did you get into it?
You was a little,
Oh yeah, I was. So shout out to my brother Red at the workhouse. I started off. So I've always been tiny pre-kid.
Okay.
I think I probably was like 105, 110. Then once I got to that third kid, it was horrible. Like I got up to my heaviest probably was like 150, 160. My cousin passed away 3 years ago, and I got up to like my big cousin was like a brother, an older brother to me. So, going into like a deep depression type, not wanting to work, not wanting to do anything. I ended up getting up to 180, I think 188. Very uncomfortable, like very uncomfortable to look at, to even walk upstairs. And my brother, I remember my brother telling me like, you gotta get the hell up and get in this gym. So I got in the gym, he started to train me, and I got down to like 160.
Okay.
During the time that when my cousin passed, that's when I got certified. Now, with extreme hip hop, I heard of it, but I've never done it. My brother was just like, hey, I want you to become an instructor so you could teach here at the workhouse. So he sent me to one class. Shout out to Jasmine. I went to her class one time, and right after that class, I ended up getting certified.
Okay.
Now, I'm self-taught. I didn't go to nobody else's classes. I didn't watch any videos. I just was learning with my classes, building myself up with my class. And then, even then, I still wasn't taking fitness serious. You kind of you think you're taking it serious by going into the gym and you working out 1,000,000 hours a day, but that diet is the number one thing.
That's the hardest thing.
You cannot outwork a bad diet.
You cannot.
You can't. So, even it was gradually coming off, but it wasn't I wasn't remaining consistent with my workout regimen and my diet. It wasn't aligning with one another. Fast forward, I ended up coming over here to the Extreme Compound last September.
Okay.
Yeah, last September I came over here, and Rose, shout out to Rose, did the
Rose.
wellness challenge. So I started the wellness challenge with her. My starting weight was, I believe, 178. Ended up getting down to 162
Okay.
in the wellness challenge. Then I met my favorite person in the whole wide world, Derek.
Shout out Derek.
Shout out to Derek.
Yeah.
Derek, I was in the gym, and me and my friend Shay, we was in there and we were trying to do a pull-up. And we had asked Derek, like, hey, can you come over here and teach us how to do a pull-up? And he was like, no, but I'll train y'all. And I'll get y'all to do a pull-up.
Yeah.
So we ended up, we signed up for training with Derek 3 times a week. From 167, I got all the way down to 130, 32, 33. So I'm super tiny now. I have exceeded my goal. My goal was 155, but by me being in here 20 times a day doing a lot of cardio, I kind of like.
You a cardio queen. Cause I'm trying to be like you. I was on cardio machine today. She come in there talking to me. She's like, you do an hour.
And you look amazing.
Thank
you look
you,
amazing.
thank
Oh,
you.
look a whole different person. I was looking at your page and I was like, that don't even.
Thank
look like
you. But yeah, Derek is amazing.
He did the show.
I always say like he's the nicest asshole
Yeah.
I've ever met. But
Derek cool. Yeah.
Derek cool.
Yeah.
You know everybody. I talk to everybody. And Derek, I be talking to his class. He be like, wait a minute. You coming over here? You gonna talk to him all day?
Yeah. So he's amazing. So right now I'm just kind of working on building back up. My goal is 155. So trying to get back up to 155 and just build muscle. So I stopped a lot of the cardio. Now stepping is hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
But I used to do burn and all that stuff. So I cut down on burn, and now I'm just like kind of coming in here doing stepping.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, me and Will had argued about that. Will the trainer, like,
Uh-huh.
y'all do like 2 hours of stepping and gonna tell me I should only do 30 minutes of cardio. So yeah, I had a question. So what obstacles have you faced, like as far, and you just talked about some of them too, like your cousin,
Uh-huh.
and is there any obstacles that you face now that you're dealing with to try to be the best of you?
Like I said, I'm recently going through a separation and eventually divorce. So although it was my decision, it's still hard, So that's a obstacle right now. Just trying to live the new norm for me. It's just me and my daughter, my youngest daughter right now at home. So I got 2 kids in college and things like that. So just trying to get all the schedules aligned with the younger one, and still trying to kind of work on me and see what I want to do for me. That's the obstacle. I feel like the gym is a release and therapy for me. And although I'm still haven't came to terms of what is it that Joy want, or what is it that you really, who are you? I haven't figured that out yet. But I feel like the gym has been that kind of
A part of it.
Yeah, it's been helping me. It's been helping me separate the whole, separation and then work life and all that stuff. It helps me get through that. So
It's a spiritual connection.
yeah. But on top of that, that's only the real obstacle. Like I'm working on getting back in school for my master's for family nurse practitioner. So I feel like, now that I got the older 2 in college, I can really kind of dive into that.
Okay.
But that's the only obstacle, just trying to, rebuild my life and try to work around the younger one right now.
Okay. So before we go, you talked about all the stuff that you do, all the obstacles or whatever. What advice would you give someone who, may have the same type of, problems or issues that you may have, or living a busy life, having a busy lifestyle or whatever? What kind of advice would you give?
Take some time for you. I know, just like you said about the whole just being selfish, I'm the type that show up for everybody, no matter what is going on. You already heard like how busy my schedule is.
Yeah.
No matter what was going on, I made sure I still show up for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like wearing myself thin.
Yeah.
So just make sure you set boundaries and pace yourself and focus in on what you want and how you feel like your end result in your life should be for you.
Yeah.
No matter if it's the kids or your significant other or whatever, like focus on you.
Yeah. Learn how to say no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't think I've learned how to say no. I'm working on it.
Yeah. So is there any shout outs you'd like to give,
Shout out to everybody. Like every time I come in this gym, I see everybody doing their thing. All the beautiful women in the gym. Like, women, we don't ever give each other enough credit. So I want to shout out to all the women
Yeah, shout out to all
in
the
this
beautiful-
gym and in
all the
every
beautiful
gym,
women.
all the beautiful women that y'all doing your thing. All the men, like you guys are doing your thing too. So shout out to everybody.
Appreciate it.
Shout it out. Yeah, we do want to thank you for doing this interview with us. Now we about to talk about some messy stuff.
Messy.
Now he about to be happy.
Yeah, so we get to talk about the mess.
Yes.
I mean, I see Jess with the mess is back on